Hello, today I am going to create a program that solves the maze module from the game Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. This module requires no edge work, so we can jump right in. We see a 6x6 grid with 2 green circles, a white square, and a spinning red triangle. The goal is to maneuver the white square to the red triangle. The catch is there are invisible walls between some of the squares that can lead to a strike if we touch any of them. Let's look at the manual to see what the maze actually looks like. We see that there are 9 different mazes to choose from. In order to pick out which maze is the one we need to look at the location of the green circles. Going by y coordinate then x coordinate with the origin being in the top left, the coordinates of our green circles are 2 1 and 3 6. By process of elimination, this is our maze. We are at 4 5 and need to get to 4 2. The only way we can go is right, up, left, left, down, left and left. Let's try another one. Based on our green circles, we are in this maze. We are at 3 3, and our destination is 2 1. We have to go down, right, right, up, left, down, left, up, left, 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 and down. Now that we have the basics of how the module works, it's time to start programming. Let's start with what variables we need. We need to know where the user and goal is. So let's have 2 int variables for each, one for the row and one for the column. We also need to know which maze we are in. The only way to do that is to get one of the circles. So let's make 2 more int variables for that. Luckily we only need one of the circles since none of the mazes share any of them. Now we can start working on creating the maze. This one was tricky to implement. At first I was going to use a 6x6 2D array just like how the mazes look, but then I couldn't figure out how to implement the walls in between the spaces. So I decided to stretch the maze into a 13x13 grid and have to program the player to move 2 spaces at a time unless a wall is blocking their way. That meant I had to spend time converting all of the mazes so they would fit on the grid. It wasn't fun. Rather than initializing a 2D grid for each maze, I decided to make a general 2D array with the exclamation points representing the walls and the question marks representing the spaces the player can move on. I then checked the values of the circle row and column, and depending on what they were, I assigned all the walls on that maze. That also wasn't fun. Now that we have the maze set up, it's time to figure out how to maneuver through the maze. We first need to know when we're done with the maze, which we can define as the row and column of both the player and the goal matching with one another. Then we need to tell the program what directions we can move. We can move up, down, left, and right. I defined moving a certain direction was valid if the player wouldn't move out of bounds, there is no wall between the desired space to move to and the current space, the desired space to move to is not a dead end, and the previous step wasn't the opposite direction of where we're moving, meaning that we're not going up when we just moved down before. After the program makes a move, it then adds that direction it moved into a list. The list is used to keep track of where the program has went to solve the maze, so it can tell the user once it has found its way to the destination. Once we have the basics down, we can then use the 4 directions to find our way through the maze. I gave the program a priority of directions, meaning the program will start and keep going up until it's not possible anymore. Then it does the same for left, down, and then finally right. If the program finds itself stuck, meaning it can't go anywhere except the way it moved before, it will set the current position as an X to tell itself that the place is a dead end, move to its previous position, and erase the most recent move in the direction list. After trial and error, the program will eventually find itself at the goal. I could have just printed the list of directions and be done, but I wanted to add one more thing to give the user an easier time. If the program keeps going the same direction multiple times in a row, then that direction will keep being added to the list. It can be easy for the user to lose their place. So I added a feature that tells the user how many times they need to go a certain direction in a row. Now that the programming is done, we can test out if it works. I should mention how the user is going to tell the program the information it needs. I thought it would be confusing to tell the coordinates of each piece of data because of the possible 4 origins, and some people want to start with the X coordinate first while others may start with the Y coordinate. So I decided to make a 6x6 grid look as close as possible to the actual maze. The user can click on the squares to change its color. Blue doesn't represent anything, the white represents the player, green is the circle, red is the goal, orange means the goal and the circle is on the same tile, and yellow means the circle and player are on the same tile. The user can either give one or both of the circles, and the program will work exactly the same. Let's test some mazes. In this maze we are at 5-5, we need to get to 3-5, and one of our circles is at 1-1. Let's see where the program takes us. It tells us to go left 4, up 4, right 1, down 2, right 1, up 1, right 3, down 2, left 2, up 1, and right 1. Let's put that in the module. Great! And just for people who are wondering, yes, the program acts exactly the same when you put 2 green circles. Watch. See, they're exactly the same. Great, we finished the module.